Moshe Rabbeinu is giving Musa to Klal Yisrael before he passes away. And he says to them, Ki atem yadatim yoshadnu be'eretz Mitzrayim. You know that we dwelt in the land of Mitzrayim, v'yisashavarnu bekerev hagoyim sharvartem, and we passed in the midst of nations that you passed through. Vatiru es shikutzeim vesguleim. You saw their idolatry. We'll see. Rashi says, "What is shikutzeim vesguleim? Eitz v'even, made of wood, stone, kesem zoh shimoyim, silver and gold, which they keep on their person. They don't leave it exposed to others." So Rashi explains what is the meaning of shikutzeim. Sheketz is a rodent, a putrid rodent, something which is detestable, disgusting. Golol is dung, animal waste. Al shem shem usim kishkotzim. They're as detestable as rodents. They have a stench, and they're as disgusting and detestable as dung. This is what you saw. Penyesh b'chem isho isho. Maybe someone was touched and influenced that has an interest to serve those idols. It's interesting. Moshe, when he refers to the idolatry, that what you had seen, it's shikutzeim v'guleim. They're as detestable and as disgusting and the equivalent of putrid dung that gives off a stench. This is the way he's referring to it. Then he says, but you may have been influenced by it. I mean, if a person is exposed to something which is so vile and so intolerable and so deplorable, so you reject it to such a degree, I mean, how could you be influenced by it? Yet Moshe Rabbeinu says you have to be concerned that if you could be exposed. I heard this from my Mashgiach Zeich Tzarek Livrocho, that he said that if you're exposed to something long enough, initially you may have a reaction, but over time, gradually, you acclimate yourself. And acclimating yourself, it begins fading. And you don't see it, although intellectually, abstractly, you know it's wrong, but we're talking about being touched, your senses. You develop an interest, a curiosity, and then you're drawn to it. The example he used to give in the 50s, the New York City subway system, those who remember, if you rode the subways in the 50s, the screeching and the noise on the train was deafening. If you would sit on the seat on the subway car, it jolted to such a degree you would be thrown off the seat. That's how violent it used to shake. But yet, within 10 minutes, people were lulled to sleep. People were sleeping, despite the shrieking, the noise, and the jolting. How's it possible? The answer is, you're lulled into it. It just takes a short period of time. Within a few moments, people are already dozing off on the train. He said, that's life. We're exposed to things that initially were shocked. But if you're exposed to it long enough, ultimately, the shock wears off. You know it's wrong, but nevertheless, you develop maybe an interest. You could coexist with it. You're not intolerant to it. But the moment that happens, you understand, you become vulnerable to whatever that represents, to be influenced by that. And that's exactly what Moshe Rabbeinu was saying. The Klal Yisrael. And therefore, Chazal tell us, Asay Siog LeTorah, sometimes there's certain materials which are neutral, but you understand, but once you go there and you allow yourself, sometimes the slight mentions of things are there which are not appropriate. But the vast majority is, but you realize, and you know that. But the moment it's diluted by all the other material, it doesn't affect you and impact you, or doesn't shock you to the same degree. Asusiyogs, even something that may be permitted in its own right, but there's always fallout as a result of that. And it's interesting. The Rambam Paskins, there's a halacha of lo sechonein. You're not al titin lemchein. A non-Jew, you're not permitted to praise a non-Jew for the sake of praising him. Meaning, if you want to know, I need the best doctor, you say, well, this doctor, he's the best in the field. It's permitted. Because you're not praising him for himself. You need the best medical advice, or whatever in the area you may need. But to praise and say he's an exceptional human being, he's special, you're not permitting a Torah violation. Why? So the Rambam explains, because when a person is attracted to a person, you're attracted to the total person. And the person has multiple aspects of his personality, of his beliefs, of his what he represents. So the moment you attracted to one part of him, which may be okay, simultaneously he's not a Jew. His beliefs are not your beliefs, and he has other characteristics which are negative to a Jew. As a result, once you're drawn to that, you become subject, involved to all the other influences. As a result of this, although you know that, but it becomes somehow embedded in everything else, and it loses its effect, and therefore we become, unfortunately, culprits. We become impacted and victimized by this.